Three ways that one more try can turn you into an overachiever. Your path to becoming an overachiever is linked directly to one more try. The one more try, the more you achieve. Here are three overachiever principles to consider. Extremity expands capacity. Your most significant gains don't come from places you're already at or where you've already been. Your greatest gains and successes can happen when you push yourself to new places and new limits. You create an extreme condition compared to what you are used to, and when you do that, you expand your capacity for success. Your new level of capacity becomes your new norm. As you become more comfortable pushing yourself to extremes, you become more confident because you know what waits for you on the other side. If you're worried about pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion, don't be. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get your rest, but I've found that most people are tired from a little activity instead of too much activity. High degrees of activity produce energy, and you feed off of this energy. Much like batteries, if you don't use your energy, you tend to lose it over time. But when you use your energy, that produces even more energy. When you produce more energy, you can go to the more extreme place. Once you've been to that place, you're able to see it, feel it, touch it, and understand what that new level of capacity is to you. Those of you who know me why, now know why I adopted the motto max out. For 30 years, I've understood that maxim out your life creates a new extreme level. The new extreme level creates a new capacity and the place where you will grow and achieve the most results. In other words, when you max out, you will out max out. Winning is numbers game. If you want to be an overachiever, you must create a better numbers of whatever is important to you. Much of your success will come down to your commitment to executing basic tasks again and again. You must learn to do simple things well. You must be obsessed with the repeating processes repeatedly until you create a big enough numbers to give you the wins you're looking for. Overachievers don't think in terms of quality or quantity. They think in terms of quality and the quantity. Quality and the quantity. Tiger Woods doesn't just go through the motions when he practices hitting golf balls from 2 to 4 hours a day. He's obsessed with repeatedly hitting each ball the right way within the same backswing, same stroke, and the same follow through each time. If you watch The Last Dance, a documentary about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, you saw how hard Jordan pushes himself. You either got on board with Michael's level of practice and play, or you didn't last very long. Jordan didn't land in the record books by accident. He understood that you must put in the work and rack up the numbers when you practice so that you can rack up victories of all kinds when you play. The highest achievers always condition themselves to incorporate one more try into their daily routines. As I mentioned, there's less competition when you rise to that level, and your victories will be bigger and better in all cases. Perhaps you've coasted from time to time in your business. Maybe you haven't applied one more try to its fullest advantage. Everybody goes through peaks and valleys, but you shouldn't wallow in those valleys for very long. You will know when you are not putting forth in your maximum effort. You will know when you are not doing everything you can to make you and your business as successful as possible. You can hide it from yourself sometimes, but you can hide it from the numbers. The numbers are black and white, the reflection directly related to your effort. It's easy to compare month to month or year-to-year sales volume, phone calls, and other metrics. You should have no trouble keeping track of how often you go to the gym, how many sets and repetition of weights you lift, or how many miles a week you go for a run. You can dominate when you don't crank out better numbers than your competitors or when measured against your past performance levels. Nothing creates in everything. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was in a formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Some theologians interpret Genesis as God creating the whole universe out of nothing. He just spoke existence into being out of total nothingness. I, I happen to be one of those people who also believes this, and I go into greater detail about my past as part of one more prayer in chapter 18. This belief is known as creatio ex nihilo, and is the answer to how the universe came to exist. Creatio ex nihilo teaches matter is not external but hereto created by some divine creative act, frequently attributed to God. Here's how that applies to your life. When you push yourself and empty everything you have inside of you to the point of having nothing left, that's when everything will be created. When you empty yourself, you create a room for new experiences, goals, and efforts. Bruce Lee echoed that sentiment when he said, "Empty your cup so that it may be filled." I'm not talking about driving yourself to physical exhaustion. You should never put yourself in that state. What I'm talking about is always doing one more. When you do, you are emptying yourself out. When you have nothing more to give, you have reached the state of ex nihilo, and you've already filled yourself up in the higher capacity, making the power of one more try work for you. Life will war hand you opportunities. You need to be the type of person who goes out and creates opportunities for yourself. Don't wait. Be aggressive and understand that one more try does not have to be perfect. It simply needed to be attempted. When you hide from one more try and you are doing disguising your insecurities. Even when you don't get exactly what you want, when you attempt one more try, the next time you try again, you are not starting from scratch. You are going to be starting from a new level of experiences that you can leverage to increase the odds of a better outcome. As you implement a more try, you will also create new levels of capacity. These levels are where you will find your most satisfaction. The more often you attempt one more try, the more often you